We have all grown up with the problem of hunger all around us. We see it everywhere. We see the homeless, we see the poor banging on our car doors, we see them lying in the pavements as we rush to office. What does one do? How does one even begin to make a difference?
Robinhood Army started its operation in India in August 2014. Neil was in Portugal when he came across this organization named ReFood, which provides excess food from restaurants to the needy. The idea struck a chord and he came back to India and spoke to his friend Anand, and they both co-created Robinhood Army.
Thanks to Neil and Anand, the Robinhood Army is now a super convenient, easy and accessible platform to enlist people from all walks of life and enable them to contribute to society.
So initially they started with 6 people in Delhi, serving 150 people. And today, it feels great that this movement has spread across 6 countries, over 5,000 robins, feeding 15,000 homeless people every week.
I got introduced to Robinhood Army in January 2015 through a friend. I started volunteering for them in Andheri. While I was working in Powai, I came across a cluster and I thought of starting something like this.
When we first started distribution at the Powai chapter, it felt really great. But initially, we struggled getting sponsors for the food. We went out campaigning to various restaurants and distributed flyers, but nothing substantial turned up. And that's when Seema came up with the idea of her group of do-gooders.
I always dreamt of organizing a soup kitchen or a langar to feed the hungry, but the logistics were daunting. This was the perfect opportunity. Here was a committed army of volunteers ready to go out of their way. All they needed was a food resource. That's when I realized that my WhatsApp community of do-gooders could easily cook some meals. I floated the idea on the group and immediately 13 people signed up. The food bank was born. We began with serving 40 portions. The word spread and now we have over 90 members.
By now we had enough number of volunteers and the ratio was 2:1, like 25 volunteers and 50 people we are serving every Sunday. And we thought that there is a need that we need to engage the volunteers as well as the people on the streets whom we are serving. And we came up with a couple of educational activities which engages the families, the children around the homeless clusters. And that's how we started with coloring books and crayon activities, and children used to color things and they used to really feel very happy. They used to come running to us that Didi maine ye kar liya, bhaiya maine wo kar liya. We introduced paperboard making, quilling and a lot of other activities. The parents used to feel very happy. We did some activities for the women as well. We had a session on hygiene and health given by one of the foundations in Bombay, Sneha. By now in this current academic session, we have enrolled 3 children into the school who left 2 years back and they are now taking their education again. And volunteer Robins make sure that they go and teach them, give them surprise visits. The principal calls us that the children are doing really great and thank you so much for getting them here.
There is no better prayer than feeding the hungry. And when that food is cooked at home and served hot and fresh with a lot of love, it becomes a blessing. This is what we, the food bankers, do.
Lots of interest, lots of satisfaction. I mean, the amount of love which kids show and the amount of the learning they're picking up from food bank is amazing.
Whatever is there at home and you're cooking few portions extra, that's it.
To start a food bank, all you need to do is create a WhatsApp community of like-minded people and people who want to make some kind of difference. Fix a menu every week. It could be something simple, very nutritious like pav bhaji, like idli chutney, like aloo puri. Decide on the number of portions. You should know approximately how many people you're going to feed. It could be 70, then you need 35 volunteers and each one gets to make just 2 portions each. Then call the Robins over, they will collect the food and distribute it. It's just as simple as that. Once the community starts cooking, you have created a connection with the homeless. You can now talk to them and you can now actually begin to address their problems. So don't wait. Just start a food bank in your locality, in your building, in your mohalla. Feel free to call us anytime for any help.
There's so much of satisfaction when I know that I've fed someone who was hungry and who really appreciated my food. And it's bliss. It's sheer bliss.